felt really good just to be back on all four events. It's been a little bit, so just getting the opportunity to do all four events for the first time this year was really cool. And I think just taking what I did this past week into this week, because obviously it wasn't my best performance on that event, but just kind of focusing on the little details and just kind of going back into the gym and doing what I do in the gym and not changing it when I go out onto the competition floor.
Either one of you can answer this, but a lot of your successes last season came on podium-style meets. So does that give you guys a sense of I don't know how to explain it, but do you guys feel like you're ready for Friday and the rest of the season?
Yeah, definitely. I don't think we think too much about a podium or not a podium. We do our normal gymnastics out there every single time, but I think it's good to get out on the podium before we go to an SECs or further down the line. So just kind of getting that opportunity to compete on a podium for the second time this year, because we did in Oklahoma City as well, but doing it towards kind of the end of the season just to propel us into SECs and further on this year.
Connor, are you hoping to get on some more events? You feel like you're close to maybe adding something to your repertoire as well? And maybe not all around, but maybe getting on there on floor or something.
Yes, I'm definitely close to getting there. It's just trusting the process and trusting my coaches, but I'm definitely inching closer every single week, and so I'm excited to see what's coming for me.
For both of you, if you don't mind, we'll start with Connor, though. You're familiar now with the River Center and the meet and what it's like and kind of the, I guess just how much does that helpful going into it? Connor, this is your second year, so, and then Haley, just you're well versed in it.
Been here a while.
It gets us another podium meet under our belt before we go to SECs and the extra big podium meets, and so I feel like definitely like coming in as a freshman, like it's a little weird in the River Center, and so just getting used to that, and then moving on to postseason, like it just gives us more confidence as we go on, and like once we get more meets under our belts on podium, then like we go into the other meets more confident.
Yeah, definitely. Kind of like I was saying to her, just kind of getting on the podium before we go to SECs, but I kind of just figured out it was a dual meet. I thought it was a quad meet this whole entire time, so just doing it as a dual meet, kind of just do what we do every single day. Obviously, it'll be different when we have a quad meet because the format and everything, but again, at the end of the day, it's just going to propel us forward.
Okay, and then Haley, this one's for you as well. Kind of talking about Caitlin as a freshman and being back on the all-around. Can you comment on your thoughts as her teammate and as a person on her performance lately, especially taking home the all-around title last Friday?
Yeah, she's just an amazing person inside and outside the gym. Just watching her kind of go about her business, if it's outside the gym or inside the gym, she really knows like her process, and she knows what she needs every single day in the gym and every single day on the competition floor. So it's really just inspiring to watch. Just somebody that knows what they need this early in their career is just amazing, and I just cannot wait to watch her career here play out.
This question's for either one of you guys. After the matchup against Kentucky, what sort of adjustments do you need to improve upon heading down the final stretch of the season?
I think just the little details. I think our gymnastics is there. I said this last time I was here. Our big skills are there. It's the little details. It's the landings, the handstands, the pointed feet, and just knowing to control what we can control. Obviously, we're going to go into different environments that have a lot of energy, not as much energy, but just kind of doing what we do every single day in the gym and not trying to press and be perfect every single time we go out there, because we just need to trust our training and trust that the people that are in those spots are in there for a reason, and they need to trust that as well.
Yeah, Haley, we talked about Aaliyah a lot and how busy her summer and season has been. I guess just somebody that can relate to that is you, right?
Yeah.
With the amount of routines you do and I guess the expectations of those routines. So just what do you see in her that you admire going through that specific part of that?
Yeah, she's one of my best friends. I've just really loved getting to know her off like the competition floor and outside the gym. She's just an amazing human being. She's there for each and every person, no matter inside the gym, outside the gym, and just kind of watching her go into this leadership role, being more vocal this year, and just really taking the freshmen and honestly everybody under her wing and just kind of giving everybody advice when they need it. It's just been really cool to kind of see her step into that role, and I'm just really excited to see what's next for her.
Haley is someone who's gotten a lot of perfect 10s in the past. Are you maybe just reserved to the fact, hey, we're not going to get any this year? I know you're all about team and everything, but how have you kind of approached that? Because it is a very nice accomplishment you have racked up here over the years.
Yeah, for sure. But like at the end of the day, we can control what we can control. We're not going to be able to control what the judges do out there. We know when we do a good routine, Jay always tells us that, to not look at the scores. Like, you know your gymnastics well enough right now, so you know when you do a good routine and you know when it's the one, but just not to control what the judges are doing because the scores are kind of up and down. So just controlling what we can control.
Okay, and then this one is for either of y'all, if either of y'all want to answer. And it isn't so much related to y'all's performance recently, but rather a list of the list of the 100 highest paid athletes was recently published at the beginning of February by Sportico. And this is the second continuous year that this list doesn't include any female athletes in the mix. And it was just kind of wondering if you guys can comment on what that might mean to young girls aspiring sports or even y'all at the collegiate level pursuing y'all's passions, but women are still continuously not getting the recognition in revenue as well as participation.
Collegiately or professionally?
Professionally.
There you go. That's context. That's understandable.
Sorry.
I definitely think it's kind of, like, obviously little gymnast female athletes see those like stats, but I think it's just kind of just moving. I don't know.
It's just we still try to inspire
Right.
them, even though like we aren't like as women in the top 100. Like it's hard to see like as children, even as grown-ups now. Like it's just like okay, like it's still continuous and going on throughout the years, and so it's just like we're doing our job and like trying just to inspire those young girls and just to inspire them to keep going.
Yeah.
Haley, I'm sure it's been somewhat frustrating having to go not do an event, then do one, then two, then three, finally four. But at the same time, I think as you mentioned when we sat down before the season, you're not, it's not your first year, right? You're 23 now, so you maybe feel the aches and pains. But do you feel maybe, if there's any silver lining, do you maybe feel a little bit fresher this time of year and going towards postseason than maybe you would have or would have in the past?
Yeah, I think physically, yes. I feel like my body is in a really good spot right now. I do feel fresh, and I think that's obviously a good thing going into the end of the season because that hasn't been kind of how it was years past. But I think what's most important for me right now is my body's feeling good, but just kind of to trust my gymnastics because I feel like I haven't had as many numbers on some events. So just kind of being able to turn my mind off. I know I've done these routines so many times, and just to do my normal gymnastics out there and not try to press and be perfect every single time.
Hey, we already know you commented, being on bars or back on bars. Do you feel like you were 100%, with the elbow injury? Do you feel like it's, is it more mental or you feel like you're back?
I definitely feel 100% physically. I think it is mental. Again, like I said, just not having the numbers that I normally have going into that event. I think I was just trying to not be perfect, but just kind of get back out there is really what it was, and just trying to kind of replicate what I did. And I think that's kind of what got in my head a little bit going into this weekend. But I think I'm definitely going to take the mistakes from this past week and just use them to move forward.
Just three meets left, right? Both of you, and then got one for Connor. But just the idea of, kind of refining, like you said, the little things and using these last three meets to propel yourself into the postseason while still saving your body. Like that's got to be the challenge, right?
I think at the end of the day, it's going to come down to the mindset because everybody does what they need to do inside the gym. Like we see the little details. We see the handstands hit in practice. We see the stuck landings. We see the landings on vault being dialed in. So I think it's just knowing that we do that every single day, and it doesn't need to change when we go out onto the competition floor. We always say nothing more, nothing less because normal's enough. But I think sometimes we kind of try to press and be perfect when we go out onto the competition floor because we do it every single day in the gym, and it's so good. So just being confident in what we do inside the gym is going to be good.
Yeah, Connor, what do you want to kind of dial in here in the last couple weeks?
Honestly, just confidence, like Haley said. It's just each week we're getting better, and especially at Kentucky, like we got a whole lot better, especially on the road. We kind of struggled with that in the beginning of the season, and so just continuing that for the next 3 weeks and then taking that with us into SECs is what's really important for our team. And so just gaining the confidence and just having more fun out there, I think, because we're so hard on ourselves every day.
And with just the three meets and the postseason remaining, like, do you try to soak up extra time with your seniors and, like, people that have kind of paved the way here? I mean, Yeah, well, I mean, this is the end, right? Like, we've
Yeah, it
done this
is.
a couple different times, but, I mean, does that resonate, or do you try to put that off on the back burner? Because you'll always be friends, you know?
Right. I think I didn't even think about senior night even coming up. It's kind of like crazy to think about, like, it's just like our last meet coming up all together in the PMAC, and so, but we also still have so many meets after that together, just not in Baton Rouge, and so I definitely soak it all in, but then we also hang out every single day, and so I keep that with me too, and just remember that, and like, that stays with me more than like thinking that, oh my gosh, they're gonna be gone soon, so.
Follow up though, do you like try to steal little leadership nuggets, like, because you're gonna be that person in either next year or the year after?
Right, definitely. Every single one of our seniors brings something different to the team, and so I try to take a little piece of each one of them, but then also bring my own style into it, so make my own leadership, kind of. Thank you.